I'm David Cordero, and welcome back to another Guitar Basics series at Pass the Guitar Live. And if you are here, it is pretty clear that you're asking, hey David, which guitar pick should I use? Well, although this is a great question, the answer is not that simple. And for us to make a better decision when choosing a guitar pick, we have to learn a little bit more about these little guys. So in this video, we're going to go over 4 categories in which guitar picks differ from each other to give us a better sense about them. And at the end of the video, we will provide you with a recommendation of who should use which pick. But don't forget that what we provide to you in this video is a starting point and not a rule. All right? If we have that out of the way, and if you're ready, let's dive in and take a look at some picks. All right, so the first way guitar picks differ from each other is in thickness. They range anywhere from very thin to very thick. And basically, the thickness determines the amount of give a guitar pick provides. Basically, how flexible they are. So let's take a look at this guitar pick here. This is a Tortex very thin pick. And if I try to bend this pick, it goes. It's like it provides a lot of giving here. And if I put too much force, I may end up breaking the pick. So it's pretty flexible. What does that mean? Well, guitar pick that is pretty flexible means that you can hold it pretty sturdy and play very confidently that it will give enough that it will produce a smoother sound. So you don't have to worry so much about your wrist when you're strumming chords. Nice, right? Pretty smooth sound. I got all the strings. But if I move to a thick pick, and I'm going to show you guys a very thick pick. Take a look at this Dean Andrea USA. This pick is really thick. Look, there is no giving in this pick. If I try to bend it, I'm going to end up probably hurting myself. So with a pick this stiff, you get a lot of kickback from the pick. So if I hold it too sturdy, I'm going to start feeling like the guitar pick is going to be skipping some strings and the sound is going to be very harsh. Really weird. Like I had a hard time even playing like that. So for me to get a smoother sound, I got to work my wrist along with a thick pick like this. Much better sound, right? But when it comes to playing notes, that's a different universe. Well, with playing notes, you want more response from the pick itself. So if the pick is too flexible, and it will have a lag response. So I'm going to use this pick here. This is a Martin pick, and H stands for heavy. So this is still a pretty thick pick. It has a little bit of giving, as you can see, but not as much. So the response will be much higher. It will be probably easier to play lines. Nice, right? Now if I use this one here, a thin one, I'm going to start feeling like the pick is lagging response. Although I got the sound there for this one, you could tell that the sound itself, the tone of the guitar was different. And I needed to adjust my wrist in order to play that line with a thinner pick. So that's basically thickness. Let's move on to the second category in which guitar picks differ from each other. And the second one is the size of the pick. Basically, guitar picks really look like these. This is what you usually find out there. But they can be larger than these, definitely smaller than that, or very small like these Jazz 3, like this one here that I was using earlier in the video, or this one here. Very small pick. And then what's the difference between a large pick and a small pick? Let me get these 2 picks here for you guys. So With a larger pick, you get more area to hold. And when you're holding the pick on a large pick like this, you still gain a lot of pick. You have a lot of pick left over to be able to strum the strings. And on the other hand, if I use a smaller pick, I'm going to end up losing a lot of area here, and my pick is going to be like very little out to play. But when it comes to lines, playing lines means you want to play anything very fast. You gotta diminish the amount of movement so that you can move faster and not get exhausted very quickly. So these picks are fantastic for that. Like small picks like this are what shredders, guitar players that play really fast, they tend to choose picks like this one or this Jazz 3 here, the red one's famous guitar pick. So you're able to play with very little movement. You're able to play many, many notes, which is not as easy to do with a bigger pick like this one here. Well, starts jumping around a little bit, right? I know we're going over many picks in this video, but don't worry, I'm providing you with a list of the picks in the description of this video with links in case you want to buy them. And don't forget, if you are enjoying this tutorial, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and like this video. Your support is extremely important for us. Let's go back to the third category. The third category is shape of the tip. What do I mean by that? Well, take a look at these picks here. I'm going to use two small picks. The white one has a very sharp tip. And then this black one here, very round. Guitar picks can have round tips or sharp tips or anything in between, like the traditional picks that you find out there. As you can see here, they are not completely round like this one, for example, but they are also not as sharp as this one. Like what I consider a hybrid tip. Very nice. These are like the best type of picks to go, especially if you are a beginner. And what's the difference? Well, a sharp tip will provide you with more precision and a bigger attack. And then a rounder tip, like this one here, will provide you with a smoother sound, but less attack. It's definitely a lot easier to miss a note with a pick with a round tip than it is to miss a note with a pick with a sharp tip. And the last category we have to go over is the material that picks are made of. And although picks can be made of all sorts of exotic materials such as leather, seashell, bone, metal, stone, you name it, there's like picks made of anything that you can possibly imagine. Most of the picks you're going to find out there are going to be made out of plastic. Three types of plastic, basically. Nylon, which I do not have any picks, nylon picks here. I haven't used a nylon pick in a very long time. They're also made of celluloid, which is what you find on these Fender picks. Or like this Martin pick here. It's a very glossy plastic, shiny, kind of even glassy in the feel, you know? And Darrin, which is what you find on these Tortex tips by Jim Dunlop. They are definitely smoother in the feel, and they're not as glossy. They're definitely more like matte. And what's the difference between them? Well, nylon is the most flexible of the three plastics. They will provide a mellower tone. And celluloid, although is not as flexible, it already provides a snappier sound, and it's probably because the plastic is glossier and like more glassy. And Darrin is definitely not as flexible as the other ones, but because it's more matte and smooth, it provides not only a higher end tone, but it stays in a smoother sound. So if I use this Fender pick here first to strum some chords, we're going to get a snappier sound, a brighter end. And now I'm going to change to the Tortex. That's it. This is all of the categories. Now we probably know a little bit more about picks and we can make a better decision when choosing a guitar pick. But let us give you our recommendation of who should choose which pick. If you are a beginner, we highly recommend you stick with thinner picks, anything between thin and medium. Stick with large sizes like this one here, a hybrid tip, because again, you're just starting. You don't want to go too extreme on one end, either too round or too sharp. And in the end, when it comes to the material, it's going to be a matter of choice. I highly recommend you buying both types and then you test it yourself. You can decide if you prefer Darrin, celluloid, or even nylon if you prefer nylon. If you are an intermediate player, already playing for a while and starting to play more lines, more lead guitar, and you're starting to feel like your guitar pick is not keeping up with you, it's time for you to move on to a thicker pick. Move to something, anything between medium and heavy. And stick with the large sizes. Even if you want to try smaller, it's still great to use large sizes. I still use it. I've been playing the guitar for over 20 years. Many people use large size picks. You don't have to go to a small size. And then when it comes to the tip, I still highly recommend you stick with the hybrid tips like these ones here. And when it comes to the material, you know the drill. Buy different types of material so you can decide the sound, which sound sounds better for you. And if you are an advanced player, you gotta be trying different types of picks. You have to be trying the small picks. You have to be trying different shapes. You even have to be trying different materials like metal, bone, seashell, and you name it. Explore. It is really important that you're constantly exploring different things, unless you are extremely satisfied with the pick you're using, with the way it feels and the way it sounds. This is a wrap for this tutorial. We hope we were able to shed some light and help clarify some of the doubts you have with guitar picks. And don't forget, if you want to be part of an awesome community, you know where to go. Head over to www.passtheguitar.live. Our community is awesome. My name is David Cordero, and I'll see you on the next video.